Hi, welcome to my thoughts on what if Captain Carter were the first Avenger. Spoilers, by the way. And overall, I thought this was really good. First things first, it's a really abridged version of Captain America, the First Avenger. You know, this is all compacted into like 30 minutes, and I think that's a little bit towards the episode's detriment overall. But regardless, I think this was a really solid choice for a first episode of What If, because there's not much of a deviation from the original movie, so it kind of settles us in. You know, the only major changes are that Peggy Carter is now Captain Carter, you know, like Captain America, but, you know, Peggy Carter, and Steve is basically Iron Man now. And I think a character that was hugely underrated in this episode is Howard Stark. I feel like he's really funny and really entertaining in this movie. He's kind of like a cartoon character because he is a cartoon character in this. But yeah, in terms of what changes the timeline, I really like that Peggy's decision to just stay in the lab is what makes her into Captain Carter, you know, like a butterfly effect. What I thought was going to happen was I thought Steve was gonna get into the chamber like how he does in the original movie. They're gonna flip it on, and you know that scene in the movie where he starts like screaming and they're about to shut it off? I thought they were gonna shut it off, and you know, not because of Steve giving up, because Steve is not a quitter, but more like, let's say he passes out or something like that, and then they desperately need someone to jump in there, and Captain Carter just jumps in there. I thought that was what was gonna happen, or at least that's how I played it out in my head before watching the episode. But it's totally fine that, you know, her just staying in the lab is what happens, and then, you know, she's the only one that's fit to go inside. But on that note, I'm also very happy that Steve is not bitter in any way towards Peggy for taking the serum in his place. Of course, Steve wouldn't be, because he's just a good guy, and he knows that the serum is in good hands, but I just really enjoy that they never hinted at any type of, you know, like I said, bitterness towards that. But yeah, Peggy, when she gets the serum, she does work. She's taking down like planes and tanks all by herself. I'm sorry, Captain America. And she's just doing a lot more than what Steve ever did in his first outing as Captain America, which makes sense, because Peggy is a lot more fit and just a lot more skilled than Steve ever was before the serum. And not to mention that the show is animated, so that they can go a lot more over the top with the action scenes, and I think that's pretty cool. It really reminded me of that episode of Ben 10 where Gwen gets the Omnitrix and she's just a lot more competent with it than Ben was at first, and I think that's funny. And another thing I thought they were going to do is I thought they were going to make Steve into the Winter Soldier. I feel like a lot of people thought that, because Steve is the one that goes down in that explosion on the train scene in this version of the story. And I think that would have made for a better final battle, both from a design and story aspect, because the final battle is kind of where the episode kind of loses me, because it's just Red Skull's like, I'm a summon Hydra's mascot, I don't know how to influence it or anything like that, I'm just gonna bring it here and it's gonna destroy all of our enemies, you know, like Wrath of God style, basically. So that's where the episode kind of loses me. And something else that was just really jarring to me was just how Hydra got the Tesseract after the train scene, because the Hydra Stomper goes down in the explosion, you know, and they just have it in the next scene, you know, after Captain Carter's planning her new plan and stuff like that. I think what really could have benefited that episode in terms of just giving more context to that is just a quick like 20-second shot or scene of just Hydra agents unearthing the Hydra Stomper, just them finding it, and you're like, bam, okay, they have Steve, they have the Hydra Stomper, and they have the Tesseract, and we don't know if Steve is alive or not. But overall, would I watch the episode again? The answer is yes. I feel like there's a lot of fun action, or just fun in general, in this episode, but specifically I think the highlight is the action, just the way the animation is, and just the things that Captain Carter does with her new abilities, and just her joy at beholding herself, you know, doing all these things.
That was brilliant! Let's give it another go.
It's just really cool. It's just really fun to watch. It's just something that you're also not gonna be able to see in a lot of the live action Marvel stuff, because just animation has that quality to it, you know, where it's just over the top things are just more in place, you know, more natural and stuff like that. But how soon would I rewatch this episode? I would say like a week. You know, it's only 30 minutes, it's on Disney Plus, you don't have to pay anything more to rewatch it. You might catch something new. Like, the first time around, I didn't catch that Steve needed a cane to walk after the accident at the lab. Basically, you know, because most of the time he's in the Hydra Stomper, or he's like at a war table with his hands against the table to support him. But yeah, he walks with a cane in this episode. I didn't notice that, at least the first time. But yeah, thank you for stopping by. These are just my thoughts on the episode, my personal opinion. I'm hugely biased because Captain America is my favorite character in the MCU. So I would love to discuss in the comments. Literally, no one comments on my videos because I have like 90 subscribers from middle school. I have graduated college now. I have gained 0 subscribers since then. Like and subscribe, please. Bye.